How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this movie review and see what's about. So the other day I had the pleasure of getting to see Pixar's latest and awesome and amazing and fantastic creation. And that is the film Coco. Now, Coco is just a fantastic and wonderfully done film. Very much in the style of Inside Out, Monsters, Inc., Toy Story, and pretty much majority of Pixar's films. Now, Coco was a new kind of version of film, too, as well, because it's probably one of the first ones that they've done that really emphasizes Mexican heritage. And I really enjoyed that about this film. I really thought it was a wonderful and awesome presentation of Day of the Dead, and just a really amazing and wonderful story. Now, this film is just, like I said, awesome and amazing and just so beautifully done. And this film was actually directed by Mr. Lee Unkrich. Now, Lee Unkrich, you might recognize as the director of an awesome other Pixar film that came out in 2010, and also the third in a series of great films, and that is Toy Story 3. He actually was the full director of that film, and he really made a great and wonderful new addition to the Toy Story series. He also was a co-director on a few other Pixar films, but one that I particularly thought he was a great co-director on was, of course, the awesome 2001 Pixar film, Monsters, Inc. And I thought his direction was really seen in Toy Story 3, and I could see some of that direction in Monsters, Inc. And he just brought all that same, directorial and amazing directing type of abilities to making Coco. And it was just such a wonderfully and beautiful made film. Now, this movie has a decent cast, and a lot of them are actually Latino themselves. And so that kind of made it more authentic of a, Latino-Mexican type of film, based on their heritage. And I just really enjoyed all those aspects of it because I really wasn't too familiar with, Day of the Dead particularly. I mean, I knew a little bit about it, but this film really helped me to understand a little bit more and to get a little bit more knowledge about the Mexican culture, and I really enjoyed that. But this film has some great voice talents. Particularly, we have an awesome young feller that lent his voice for the character of Miguel, who is kind of the main character of Coco. And that is Mr. Anthony Gonzalez. Now, Anthony Gonzalez really doesn't have any other acting credits except for Coco. But he did star on a couple TV shows this year that are kind of his only really other acting credits. He actually was on an episode of the new Criminal Minds series, Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, which unfortunately got canceled already. But he also was on another series that was pretty popular for its time, and I believe it's still going. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the FX series The Bridge that he also starred in a couple episodes as well. But Anthony Gonzalez really, I thought, did an amazing job with the character of Miguel. His singing voice was amazing. Just his whole presence really brought Miguel to life. And he just was really, just amazing. He really was Miguel. And I really enjoyed his character. And he brought a lot of great flavor and a lot of great chemistry to that character. We also have a film that did a voiceover for this film as the character of Hector, who is kind of like a second kind of lead character in the film. He's kind of throughout the majority of the film along with Miguel. And that is Mr. Gael Garcia Bernal. Now, Gael Garcia Bernal has been in a lot of Latino and foreign films. And he actually hasn't really done a lot of films over here in the United States. But majority of his films have been very popular over here in the United States. Particularly two that I know that majority of people have watched or heard of because they were considered such like great achievements and considered like, one of the 1,001 movies to see before you die types of films. And one of those films is actually the film Why to Mommy Tambien, which was a kind of a drama slash kind of sexual experience type of film. And he actually started in that with Diego Luna. And it was a very different film. It was very considered a big success for its time because of its graphic nature of sexual encounters between this kind of trio. And also the storyline itself is considered a real success because of they're like on this adventure basically and trying to discover each other. And he was, really interesting and good in it, and I really liked him. And so when I found out that he was actually the voice of Hector in this film, I was like, oh, okay, I know who he is. And I'm like, oh, man, I love that guy. I think he's a great actor for, what he does. And that he just brought a lot of great flavor to the character of Hector in the film. Another film that he is actually really known for over here that was a big hit, another foreign film, was a film called The Motorcycle Diaries, which was considered a big success, like I said. I'm not too familiar with what that film is about, but I do know that it's basically about him and this other person on a motorcycle, pretty much majority of the movie, and they're kind of their adventures with this motorcycle, pretty much. That's pretty much all I know about the film, but I did see like a clip from it, and Gale was really good in it, and I really enjoyed his presentation in that short clip I saw. But as Hector in the film, like I said, I think he was amazing. He was awesome. I loved his singing voice. He just really brought a lot of great and interesting style to the character. He was just a fun character, and you fell in love with this character in the film. And he really brought basically Hector to life and gave him a soul, even though he's supposed to be like a dead guy, as a skeleton for pretty much the majority of the film. And just he made the character just awesome. I really enjoyed his character. He's probably my favorite character in the film. We also have in the film another awesome actor that lent his great voice to this film, and that has been in a great amount of other great films. And that's Mr. Benjamin Bratt. Now, Benjamin Bratt, everyone knows him from TV shows and just, tons of movies over the years. But a couple movies that I really enjoyed him in were such films as the awesome Sandra Bullock film, Miss Congeniality. I absolutely love that film, and I thought Benjamin Bratt was awesome in it. He really brought a lot of great, and interesting and amazing characterization to that character in that film, and his love kind of triangle with Sandra Bullock in it. It was really fun and just funny. It's an all-around great film and just a great role for Benjamin Bratt. Another film that he was in that I really enjoyed him in, and that film is the awesome 1993 film starring the awesome Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man, which I just think is one of the best futuristic movies of the 90s. Just one of those really great and well-done films. Great cast, had Sandra Bullock in it too, had Wesley Snipes. It just was all around really awesome futuristic action film, and I love Benjamin Bratt's character in it because he was like so like kind of straight laced and like just was super funny to me. I don't know why, but I laughed at every scene he was in because he was just like so straight faced, and you could probably tell that during those takes he was probably cracking up because he had to be so straight faced. It just one of those great roles, and I thought he was so freaking good in it. He just was amazing. But in Coco, Mr. Benjamin Bratt plays an amazing musical character. And his singing voice, I could not believe his singing voice. It was amazing. I mean, I was blown away by his performance in the film. And I didn't know he could sing that well. And I was like, holy crap, this guy's awesome. And I was blown away because all the music in Coco was just so amazing that, Latino, Mexican sounding, band kind of music. It was so amazing and just wonderful music. And it just, like I said, it brought a lot more of the heritage for, Mexican culture to our, time and to show people what, such a wonderful thing. And the music was just so amazing. I was really impressed by it. And I was just really blown away by Benjamin Bratt's voice and just his characterization of his character in the film was just so like pinpoint and on point for him at playing like a type of like eccentric or a guy that's so in love with his audience basically. And he did such a amazing job, and I really enjoyed his character and his characterization of this character. It was just really fun. Now, to round off this awesome cast, we have a great actress that has been in a ton of like bit parts and movies throughout the years, and just is always fun to watch, and just a beautiful woman too. And that's Miss Lana Ubach. Now, you might recognize Alana from such films as the awesome Legally Blonde with Reese Witherspoon, kind of playing her best friend in the film, who is kind of like, also a, rich girl slash, kind of smart, kind of, but kind of blondish. And then she also was in another awesome film that I absolutely love and thought her role in the film was so funny, and that is the film Meet the Fockers. She plays actually the housemaid that the Fockers have that Greg lost his virginity to, and she has like a Latino accent, and she brought that same awesome accent to Coco, and it was so amazing. It was an all-round, really well-done performance by Alana. I love that characterization. She played such an kind of an evil, strict type of person, Hispanic lady, and she just did a really good job, and you really felt kind of hated her, but at the same time you kind of liked her, and you just kind of, you're like, where is she coming from? Why is she like this? Why doesn't she want Miguel to play music, And you're just like, she really brought that really great voice performance to that character, and it was a real pleasure. I think Alana is just a great comedian, and so she brought a little bit of, comic timing to the voiceover too as well, and it was just a really fun character. Everyone in the film I just really enjoyed. I thought the whole film as a whole was just so well done, and everyone meshed so well together. So if you're not familiar with what Coco is about, basically what the premise of the film is Miguel wants to play music, and he feels it in his blood that he is a musician. And his family has like this strict policy not to, play music because it's evil or something like that, because of a past family member left them to go pursue music and never came back. So Miguel wants to basically, be this musician, and he decides that he wants to enter this contest and wants to borrow the guitar of this dead Monterey guy, played by Benjamin Bratt, to play in this concert because he doesn't have a guitar because it was broken by his grandmother. And so basically when he takes that, he basically gets transferred to the Day of the Dead, over to the Dead Land. And basically he has to get back from there to here before he turns permanently dead. And basically he goes through like this whole transition of trying to figure out who he is and what his life is, and basically learn who his great-great-grandfather is, and do all this and try to get his family to let him be a musician. So basically that's the premise of the film. It's a really beautiful story. It's so well done. The construction of the film was so beautiful. All the skeletons, all the characters were so awesome looking. Just all around, just an amazing film. It totally deserves its 96% Rotten Tomato Fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes. It really is an amazing film. Probably one of Pixar's best. Definitely not the best, but definitely in the high five. It's definitely the top 5. And just amazing film. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this one, people. A must-see. So amazing. Music is amazing. The soundtrack is definitely something I want to pick up eventually, too. Can't wait for this to come out on Blu-ray 4K. It's going to be a great addition to the movie collection. It's just such an amazing film. I was really impressed. I absolutely love Pixar films, and I always think they do such an amazing job, but they just keep getting better and better. They really do. Just amazing job. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome movie reviews or any of my awesome videos. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, check that link down below, people, about the awesome horror pack. Especially if you're a huge horror buff, what better way to get horror movies is than in the mail directly to your door of either 4 random DVDs or Blu-rays of awesome horror goodness. And this is not only just horror movies, it's also got limited editions that are exclusive to the Awesome Horror Pack as well, that you can't get anywhere else. And those come in each box as well. And these limited editions are just amazing films that you can't find anywhere else. And as always, if you're interested in signing up, let me know down in the comments so I can hook you up with an awesome discount on your first month. And as always, catch you in the next one.